Welcome to Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu Podcast, episode 028. This is Stephen Little, and I'm here with
Isaac Tauaefa and Josh Straussberger.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, listen, it is evening. I've had a long week, so we're going to go right for it.
Please.
3, 2.
Oh. We have more of these other than the ones that are displayed here that we can't drink. That I was told I'm not allowed to drink.
Yes.
Danny.
Yeah. Danny Z.
Now listen, guys, if you're new to the podcast, stick with us here. We do a can crack every week of our favorite healthy energy drink, Jocko Go. Proud, we appreciate Jocko Fuel. They do a lot for us. Yeah. And if you're in the jiu-jitsu world, I'm sure you've heard of Jocko Fuel. I'm sure you have heard of Origin, the gi and compression and jean and boot manufacturer. Hunting line now. Yeah, they're incredible. Everything is made in America with American hands with American materials. Mm-hmm. So their gis are dirt to shirt, Texas cotton, semi-trucked up to Maine, woven into fabric. They're incredible jiu-jitsu clothes. The energy drinks, the protein, all the vitamins, all the supplements, the green supplements, it's all the best of the best of the best. And it's what we use. A lot of it's geared around jiu-jitsu training, like the joint warfare. But here's the point of it. If you don't take it, you should. If you do take it, you need to use the discount code. J&JJ10 saves you 10% and also supports the podcast. Mm-hmm. So you can get healthier, stronger, faster, and support Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. And America.
JJJ10. So I just got to get this go in me so we can keep going.
Let's keep going.
I never slurped. That was one time. That was for Danny Zim.
A slurp for Danny Zim.
For my boy Danny.
Yeah. Oh, he was in town.
He was. Ooh. He was over working and doing a little on the path printing training.
So does that mean does that mean we're is there more training that has to happen, or is the training portion complete and now you're in development?
No, we're still in training.
Okay, got it. He's going to be back next week?
Yep. So we have FTX coming up for Echelon Front, and he'll be here for that. So a little more training there. We did a nice walkthrough to make sure, because I have printing equipment that I don't know how to use. So I had to, maybe I was missing something.
Do you have all the pieces you need?
We had everything. Everything he wanted us to order was just like replacement stuff. Like, this is kind of beat up. And it was no major equipment. It was like small tools, mixing stuff. So got a good rundown. Training phase is official. So the answer is still 2023, but I feel 60 days max.
Let's go.
I mean, we're right there. We'll be putting ink on shirts as soon as I get back from Pursuit and FTX for sure.
Bro, Little Cattle Co. is ready for some shirts.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm ready.
Pursuit. And this ministry called Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu.
I've heard of that.
Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu.
I've heard of that. I think
it's ready to go.
Yeah.
I tagged along for the tour.
Yeah, I got to be there.
And dude, it was. I'll say I'm glad I'm not the one printing shirts right now, because it was a lot to take in. Drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah,
from a former fireman.
From a former fireman.
And Danny knows his stuff, so it was really cool to see where he was just like,
so
just went into
back in the day. Danny would he printed and embroidered shirts for my business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for our business back in the day. So I know, for not only did I wear a lot of Never Settle clothing, which was JP's clothing line that Danny made.
That's coming back.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. But Danny also made shirts for our businesses, and he's legit, dude.
He's super legit.
He's a real deal, even if he left the greatest state in the world, in Texas, the Lone Star State. The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
That's for you, Danny. He left, and that's okay. It's all good. But we still love you, Danny. But I'm glad that there's a couple other Texans now about to be printing.
Yeah. Soon. I'm ready.
So what else has been going on with you guys? I'm glad that I'm super happy. I think there's a lot of people. Sorry, I'm retracting my statement. I think there's a lot of people that have been waiting for the On the Path thing. So I think that's a great update for the listeners.
I think so. I hope so.
Well, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor. Well, first of all, we got to give a shout out to Miss Sherry Kamke.
That's right.
For those of you that don't know, that is the lovely woman that brought this lovely gentleman, Josh Straussberger, into our lives.
There's a special place in heaven for her.
Really,
There really is. There really is.
She birthed him and she raised him and she endured him for many years.
Endure is the word.
I think I'm just assuming that all the things we love about Josh came from her.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, yes.
There you go.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
The good and the bad.
sweet. Well,
No.
thank you for your birthday,
For my birthday.
which was very recent, which we're getting to. She donated some money to Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu and just wanted to bless the ministry on your behalf.
She did.
Well, for your birthday, that's what she wanted to give, which is really cool. That shows where her heart is. She wants to support.
As a 40-year-old man, like
Oh, you're so old.
I know.
not as old as
get there.
JP, but
Yeah, he's super old.
but
He's
my
asleep. That's why he's not here tonight. He fell asleep. I love you, JP. Actually, he sleeps less than me.
right. But no, every year my mom and stepdad are try to ask me for what I want for my birthday, and I'm like,
Guns and ammo, bro.
well,
Steak.
I know, but I buy that.
Guns, ammo, steak.
Guns, ammo, steak. Yeah.
You buy it, but you can never have enough.
I know, but
No, I get where you're coming
I'm
from.
to the
Yeah,
point
yeah.
where I'm
I
like,
do.
get stuff for the kids, not
Yep.
for me. And every year, and to be honest, like, my mom, she bought me Origin stuff. Like, she knows what I like, so she'll get sneaky and do it anyway. But I'm always just like, I don't need anything. Don't get me anything. So this year, she called me and was like, all right, I'm not fighting with you. I'm going to donate $100 to Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm not going to fight you.
That's
like,
sweet.
I accept that. So
That's cool.
Mom with the flank.
right, super flanked me. I'm not going to say no to supporting the ministry. So she is a big supporter. So shout out to her. She wears her shirt. She
Thank you,
tells
Mrs.
people about
Sherry.
it. She listens.
Oh, sweet.
She hit me up real quick that one day we had a late posting. She was like,
Where's it at?
excuse me. I listened to it on my way to work and it wasn't
Yeah.
there. So
Josh's mom, thanks for keeping us straight. Thank you
Yes.
for the
Yes.
donation.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thanks for your
Mom.
support.
We
also
honor you. That's all I say
Yes.
is we honor you.
Yeah.
honor you. Thank you for bringing. Thanks for bringing Josh into this world. It's great to have him. And before we get
most
to your
of the time.
birthday, yeah.
she would agree.
Before we get to Josh's birthday, let's give a shout out to our brother Kyle Yoakum.
Sunbury, North Carolina. So here's the thing that's starting to happen is we know some other people that are in the metal shaping world. These classic car restoration metal shaping, and what we're the scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt.
Nice.
Thank you,
Man.
The scuttlebutt that's come back to us is, hey man, that Yoakum guy that sponsors y'all's podcast, that dude's a real deal.
He's legit.
Like
He's legit.
he's legit. So, which we knew because you can tell.
You could tell looking at his website or
You
his
can tell.
Instagram. Yeah.
you can tell. But now the scuttlebutt is
again.
that, hey guys, that guy y'all are aligned with, he's like the real deal in this industry. So we never doubted you, Yoakum, but Kyle,
Yeah,
we're just doubling down on what we've been saying, man.
Yeah.
legit.
You're
Thank
the
you
man.
for sponsoring the episode, and it was great. I got to have breakfast with him and his family the other day, and Jerry Lynn is his wife. And I get to give a shout out to Rose and Elizabeth and Maven and Alice and Mark, little Mark.
Man, he didn't even have that written down. I'm proud.
I'm trying to use that. So JP has a friend named Ron White,
Yeah,
the memory
yeah.
expert,
Yeah.
and he was teaching at this conference that JP and I went to, and he sat down at the table with me and was like, I was like, yeah, I'm bad with names. He said, no, you're not. He's like, you're just not focusing when you talk to people. So I told them, I was like, I'm going to try to memorize all their names. They're like, oh, there's too many people. No, you're going to get it. So I memorized their names.
There
But
it is.
so it's working. Shout out to Ron White.
I know Ron's a good dude.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really
He
useful
trains
tools.
jiu-jitsu, by the way.
Yeah, he's
He's
a
a
purple belt.
like a long-time purple belt, like
Yep.
probably like any day gets his brown kind
Yep.
of thing.
Yep. Yeah, he came to a Jesus in jiu-jitsu not that long ago.
That's right.
Yeah, it was
He's a
cool.
good dude.
But yeah, so they were great people. It was awesome spending time with them. I got to talk to them, and of course their heart and posture is just like, hey, how can we help Jesus in jiu-jitsu? We just, we're running a business. We got a lot of kids. We're taking great care of our kids and homeschooling them and all this stuff. But we really need to. We really feel called to help out any way we can. So thank you so much for that. It was great spending time with y'all.
Joe,
The
eat a
Yoakum family.
good breakfast.
Yeah, we went to First Watch. You've been to First Watch?
I've been the first one.
Yeah. It's good food.
First time with the first watch, I was in Colorado though.
Bacon, eggs,
$1 million
sourdough
bacon.
toast.
You had me right there.
Some fruit.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. Good.
We're gonna hit the mats with Yoakum tomorrow.
We are. I'm teaching an 11 a.m. class at Rodriguez Martial Arts.
I'm gonna drop in.
Yeah. So he's gonna come swing by.
I'll be at a beef sales seminar. Otherwise,
man.
I support that.
That makes sense.
I
Yeah,
support that big time.
Yeah.
I support that. You go do that. That's important work.
Yes.
They came and actually did a interview on us, video interview today,
Sick.
which is pretty cool.
Wow,
That is
nice.
cool.
Yeah, it's like this extension from Texas A&M, and they do all this stuff, and it's long. It's the short version is I've utilized some of their stuff, and they've kind of seen what we've done at Little Cattle Co, and they're like, hey, we want to come shoot a video on you guys.
That's
Which is
legit.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
That's
Hopefully
great.
we'll get to see this video at some point.
Yeah, they said it probably will drop in November.
Okay.
We got a lot of seminars, a lot
Cool.
of things going on. Yeah, it'd be cool.
That's exciting.
Legit.
No doubt.
Well, Josh, now that you are the ripe old age of 40 years old,
40.
I would like for the people to hear just about your day, man. Just about what you did with your family.
Yeah.
And, yeah, how your 40th birthday was. You feel any different?
No.
Did you wake up feeling way older?
I feel way older every day. That's 10 years of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
No, I kind of got to do whatever I wanted on my birthday, so it was nice. I got to surprise Isaac, so I know we'll kind of touch on that a little bit, but JP was texting me. He's like, "What do you want to grab breakfast tomorrow? What?" And then we were talking about the Jiu-Jitsu World League, and you had mentioned that Zeke was competing at 9, so I was like, well, you know, our teammates are competing. We can get over there. We can surprise him. So I got to spend most of the day at the Comerica Center watching a bunch of
Nice.
kids
For your birthday.
roll. But it was cool for my birthday, just hanging with, got to see both your brothers, your
Yeah.
dad, your wife, all the kids.
You brought your boys with you.
Yeah, my boys were over there. So it was good. It was nice and chill. And I didn't get to stay for any of the adults because I had plans to go to my brother's around 3. So we were there from like 9 to 3. And then went to my brother's house. He had thrown a brisket on around 5 a.m. So we had brisket. Kroger brisket.
Hold on a second. As a native Texan, that math doesn't work for me.
5, 8, 2.
No, we didn't eat at 3. That's when I went over there.
Okay, I'm still doing math. When did you eat?
So he had it off and let it rest in the cooler for about 2 hours. We ate about 7.
Oh, okay.
So a 12-hour cook with a 2-hour rest. You passed the test for Tennessee boys.
It was solid. He's
Good.
better at brisket than I am, even. So we had
Sounds
that,
good.
some smoked queso, some.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I ate like
You
a
ate
jerk.
good?
I ate like a jerk.
Good.
JP took me for pizza for lunch, and then brisket, queso,
Let's go.
sausage, birthday cake, you name it. We
man.
watched the Ole Miss football game.
Sick.
We're Ole Miss Rebels fans. I know. SEC is the best.
What about
football.
Texas, Alabama?
Watch that after, which even though we're
Come
SEC
on.
fans, I mean, let's be real, nobody likes Alabama. So
Yeah, right.
So all my wife's family is from Bama. Like all her extended family,
I'm
her
sorry.
grandparents, they all live in Alabama. My sister-in-law is from Alabama. So it was glorious
let's go.
to watch Texas.
I didn't even
Yeah.
know about it. I've been
Oh.
so unplugged from college football. but
Well, it's
That's
week-
about
week-
the only
week 1, right?
2.
Week 2.
Week
thank
2.
you.
Ole Miss is 2-0,
mm,
ranked. Good day. And then we watched fights. So
sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's a full day.
yeah, watched the fights. Had a cigar with my brother. Got to watch the fights, and then went home. So
I
good
told
birthday.
Zeke it was your birthday between his matches. That's when he hit you with the double finger guns.
he hit me with that double, and everybody in the stands was like, "This dude,
My man."
He thought everybody, like a couple people around me, were like, "Man, did you see that kid? He was like finger gunning people." And I was like,
No.
"Yeah, he was. Yeah,
My
my
man.
man hit me with it
man.
Way
made
up
my
in the
day.
stands. My man. Zeke is so funny. He always does this funny voice. I'm like, where'd you get the voice from? I just say like, I'm always like, my man.
Yeah, he sees me and I say my man, but he apparently we make goofy faces, silly faces when we do it, and we say it weird.
I agree. That's amazing.
so good.
So I
man.
got
It
to
was
see a
good
bunch
time.
of the kids. One of our Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu supporters is Kari. She's a
Yeah.
kid competitor. She's a savage, so she got to hang with her a little bit. Saw
Yep.
her dominate her matches. JP coached her
Yep.
gi match, and then I got to FaceTime.
He was laughing. He was like, there wasn't much to coach. He was like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
good job.
Her goal was to
She's
get
a killer.
points and get subs, and she got both. So
She's a beast.
her dad was at work. He's a firefighter, so I got to. Her mom got some pictures and video, and I held the other phone and FaceTimed so her dad could see it.
Nice.
So it was cool. It was like it was a fulfilling day and just chill. Like I kind of got to do whatever I wanted. It was a day full of violence.
Jiu-Jitsu, barbecue, fights, pizza. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get any
Smoked
better.
queso.
Brisket,
Smoked
yeah.
queso, yeah, brisket. Smoked a cigar.
let's go.
Great.
Yeah, it was chill.
Donation from your mom to Jesus.
Donation. Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu.
What else could you need?
It's a perfect day, man.
Finger gunned by Zeke.
Finger
Yeah.
gun by Zeke, yeah.
My man. That's solid.
Yeah, it was a great day. And Zeke did awesome.
First comp.
Yeah.
It was first comp ever.
Proud of him, man.
Isaac was nervous when we
Dude.
got there. I don't even think he knew me and JP were there at first.
I was like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? You
Yeah,
know?
and he's just like pacing, and Zeke's just like,
chilling.
cool, man.
Yeah.
And so
Can't
it's
talking
You can't
to the
let those-
ref,
You can't
talking
let
to
those
the-
nerves rub off on him. One day he's going to recognize, oh crap, Dad's nervous.
Yeah, no, I need to get used to hiding that. But man, I felt more nervous than for my own matches.
we need to pay the other competitor's dad. Like, here's $1,000. When this kid comes out, like, start a fight with his dad.
they'd look at Ike and be like,
I would destroy any dad. There's no.
well, you wouldn't
if it
destroy
was
any
my-
dad.
I would.
No.
When it's my son in there, oh yeah.
Well, I wouldn't do that to your son.
Oh yeah, it would be like, hey, if you actually touch the kid or say something to cross the line, like we'll handle you in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Just do enough to get the dad riled up.
Right.
We want to see him.
Yeah,
mad
we don't
at
want you to
someone.
die, but if you go too far, that's on you.
Sorry, I shouldn't
It
have
was
put this on the podcast. This is how my brain works. I'm like, how can I always want to.
Let's tweak Ike.
I'm always telling Isaac, like, you're too nice. I want to see him like legitimately mad at
I
someone.
hear that a lot. It's funny. There's a big black belt Ryan at Double Five. He's huge.
Yeah.
He looks.
He's a
like
Terminator.
If you ever see him, and this is not an exaggeration, he looks like an actual superhero from a comic book. Okay.
Yeah.
The totally exaggerated features. He looks like a superhero.
Chiseled
Anyway,
from stone.
Yes.
Like-
He's like 6'4", 230, like shredded, and he always is telling me like, man, you're not like. You need to get mean. He's like, you're always real too nice with me. I'm like, yeah, I don't like hurting people. He's like, well, you're not going to hurt me. Like, I understand with a lot of these other guys, but you're good. So I was turning it up the other day, and after he's like, yeah, that's what I want to see, bro. You got to let that out more, you know?
bro. Like, but I don't think even. Well, I didn't witness that, so I can't say it. And Ryan's a beast, but I'm like, I don't think a lot of people understand the explosion and like just take D1 athlete, like D1 defensive lineman, but then go a step further and just like genetically bred to be one.
Yeah.
I don't think people, because like I've said that to you, and then you turn it up a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want that smoke.
Yeah.
Please stop.
I don't think he's ever turned it up on me, but he'll do it just enough. But I'll still talk crap.
He will the
you
entire
did
time.
this week.
What?
You did Friday, didn't
Yeah,
you?
what-
Was it Friday? We were
Yes.
first roll.
Yep.
Like I'm convinced that if you were mad and you arm drag someone, you could pull the arm out of their socket.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
But not me.
Like literally,
It's
like
hard to
when I say
get
pull it out
there.
of their socket, I don't mean like, oh, you like cell blocks your shoulder. I mean like the person standing there and you're on the ground holding their arm.
Yeah, you ripped it off.
I'm convinced you could do it.
It's hard to get there, but
But not
some
to me.
things will. Yeah, I mean, you make me that angry.
I
You
know.
make me
On
angry
purpose.
enough. Yeah,
On purpose.
I want to rip both your arms off,
Yeah,
and then I
but
want to
you can't.
beat you unconscious.
But you
with them.
can't.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, and I also have to control that, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then I just roll real nice with you, and then my plan is to try to get you to soil your pants, your gi pants,
It hasn't happened yet.
from Neon Belly.
From Neon Belly.
So-
It hasn't happened yet.
To all
Hadn't
our
happened yet.
lady listeners, I apologize.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you can understand. I was trying to.
I'm gonna use a southern word, and like we're a little ornery tonight.
Yeah,
Ornery,
ornery,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, Friday were we even rolling yet, or we were doing the technique part, and you were like, "Oh, let me show you this," and you were trying to do like a forearm slice on me or something, and like it hurt.
Well, yeah, you
but
were
I
like-
was legitimately like, "Are you gonna do something?"
Well, yeah.
And he's like cranking this thing. I'm like, "I thought you were gonna show me something." He's just cranking and cranking, and it hurts bad. And I'm like, "When are you gonna do something?"
Yeah, I forgot. I was putting pressure on your forearm, like it was like a bicep slicer.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I guess from here maybe you could do this, and you're like, do what? And I'm like cranking it. I'm like, for sure in my mind, like this has to hurt.
It did.
He's like, what are you doing? Like, and I'm pulling it harder, and I could feel the tension on it.
Yeah, but super normal face. I'm like, "Are you gonna
Yeah,
show me?"
he's just totally straight face and kind of confused. You know,
Makes me happy on both ends.
What are you doing?
But what are you doing?
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, it was a good feeling.
Yeah.
Then we rolled later and had a good time too.
Yeah, I
but
still didn't soil myself.
Hey, ADD thought here that I just want to say, and we'll probably talk a little more once JP's on here, but I just wanted to say we launched Little Cattle
Yeah,
Club.
I was definitely, we're got to put that out.
I just wanted to say thank you because a lot of the Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu people supported by placing orders or sharing, so we appreciate you very much for supporting. The one that's standing out to me is Josh Kingry, our bro. He was like on the second it went, and like
He was messaging
one of the very first orders. So thanks, Kingry. We appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
we're
proud of you, man.
Yeah.
We've been watching from behind the scenes
Super
for a long
pumped.
time.
Yeah,
got a heads up on everything. Was following up. So we're extremely proud of both of you guys, your whole family.
Yeah,
the job that Amanda's done, Tyler. Your whole family, dude.
Thanks,
it's
bro.
been amazing. Yeah, Uncle Rocky.
It's like you can't. This is one of those things that I can't take the credit for. It's just been such a God thing. It's so cool.
Yeah,
it's so cool. But
it's cool to see it come to life. Gratitude,
man, from everything the Lord's given us. The people like you just mentioned, like Rocky, the Pursuit Sheriff, Uncle Rocky, JP, Tyler, all the wives, my wife, and then everyone that's supporting, and it's just total gratitude. So
awesome.
It's been cool.
Yeah,
it's been cool. By the way, I've been eating the beef now. Mm-hmm. This round, I've been doing it for 6 years, but like this round of beef, oh my gosh, it's so good.
I'm stoked.
It's so good.
Placing my order this weekend.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let it out. I have 2 New York strips in the fridge thawing right now. That's it. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Yeah, one of our.
Said that.
I'm sorry.
I know where you live. I know where the kitchen is.
One of our.
Come meet my dogs.
No.
One of them's probably eating it by now.
That's true.
Josh got an early hookup today, didn't you?
Yeah, it was quite a surprise.
It wasn't me. I would love to take the credit for it, but I can't. But it was Josh dropped everything on the spur of a moment and lent his truck and his sweat one day and came and set up all of our heavy duty shelves. So it was a form of a thank you.
It was a wonderful
for the work,
and
super
surprising.
We'll work for beef.
I will work for beef.
That's my life motto.
Sure. Yeah, I was about to start my 345 kickboxing class at Total Fitness Kickboxing, and these 2 young girls walk in. I'm like, I know them, But it's just one of those things. Like, it's not that I didn't recognize them, but I wasn't expecting to see the twins there. And then here comes JP with a box, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I just brought you a little something.
See, because they're not labeled yet.
I know,
those come in on Friday.
I was like, why are you? I get my own protein. Like, what? And he's like, just a little something, Yeah. Some select cuts. See you later. He rolled out. Got some hugs, and it was,
That's legit.
And then I had to teach a kickboxing
Meat
class
delivery.
with that box sealed on my desk, and I couldn't even open it and see what was in there till after. So it was amazing.
It's good, bro.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So, so we got off, but I forgot to say something about. Oh, we were talking about your birthday, and it was awesome to see. I was super surprised that you guys came in. I really couldn't process that you guys were just 9 a.m. kids match, 5-year-old jiu-jitsu match. You guys all showed up. The whole family was in force. So it was just you and your boys and JP, and it was just what the heck are you guys doing here? JP does it a lot. He's like, there's no expectation he's going to be somewhere, and then he's just like, what's up? In the back of the room, he's like, what the heck? But yeah, it was a cool, I was saying I was super nervous, but I'm super proud of my son. Not for winning his
I'm proud
match.
Of that too,
No, I'm very proud of that. But I would have been proud even if he didn't win and I could truly say that. I think a lot of people want to mean that when they say that about their kids, but I truly mean it because he asked us to do the tournament, and then he wanted to practice continually. He always goes to class twice a week, but then we rolled some mats out in the garage and we practiced. But the thing that was super cool was I thought the day of we were going to get there and he was going to be like, Dad, I don't want to do this. Dad, I'm, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't like that at all. Even on the way there, I'm like, how are you feeling, bub? He's like, I'm excited. I'm like, cool.
I couldn't see what he was saying because the first match was a no-show, right?
Yeah, it was a bye.
Right.
Because the kid no-showed, so he got a
right.
bye.
Because he
Googled Zeke. Zeke the freak.
Yeah.
No, but then after the second match,
Zeke had that little pre-match intimidation. Google me, son. Google me.
Number
some
one
cool
ranked great belt.
No, he's
Google
a little
my
two-stripe
grandpa.
white belt.
Two-stripe white. Okay.
Google my grandpa.
For real.
He's up in the stands.
Yeah.
But he lost his first match.
Yep.
And that to me was really cool. I mean, not that I want him to lose,
Yeah.
but even after he lost, he shook hands. He shook the other coach's hand, and then he was like, I don't know what he was saying, but to me, I looked at your brother and I go, it looks like he's just like, can I go again?
Well,
Was no like.
That was his first question. Well, I could see tears welling up in his eyes.
Could you? From up in the stands,
Yeah.
I couldn't.
And
He
I
just
said-
looked real chill.
I said, Bubba, good job. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
And then his next question was, do I get to do another one? I was like, yeah, I think you get one
Yeah.
more. Because at Jiu-Jitsu World League, they have, I think it's like, there's a certain match guarantee or
yeah,
you round
for kids,
robin.
I think you get two for sure.
Even in adults, you get 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
2.
Guaranteed 2. So it
By
was
the way,
super cool.
you know, that's when I met you.
yeah,
The
Jiu-Jitsu
day,
World League.
the day
When I
before.
met you too.
Yeah.
The day before Jiu-Jitsu World League, we met at
Training.
At Formigas, yeah.
Yep. And then we talked and hung out. You and David were there together, and it's when you destroyed that guy who was talking. Oh, like, why are you doing this, bro? Banging the mat at Isaac's feet before the match, like it's a UFC,
Number
like
one
it's
ranked blue belt.
Yeah, like it's an MMA match.
Yeah, I was just
I
trying to pretend like I
did
didn't
not
even
know
notice
Isaac,
anything.
but one day's worth as well. And I remember watching that, going, "This is a bad idea."
This guy had on. I hope he's not. Hey, if you're listening, like, I love you, but you just didn't know who you were going against.
Yeah.
But he was like, you know, just very hardcore in everything. He like what he was wearing, the music he was listening,
Yeah,
the way he was acting,
like, acting intimidating to all the competitors.
trying to
and-
intimidate
yeah.
people for sure, and tried to do it to you, and like was banging the mats, like banging the mats and
Yeah.
like pacing the mats before, instead of like the handshake, he's like hitting the mats like Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slapping the mats on the ground.
But what
right
he didn't know
before
is he was facing Donkey Kong.
Right.
and Isaac's out there just like almost looking bored, just so calm. And I'm like, uh-oh. And I'd only met Isaac 24 hours before.
Same.
I was like, no.
I think I met him the same time.
This is not going to be good. And this guy's like total intimidation, which again, if you're fighting Isaac, you're in the ultra heavy.
Yeah.
So he's a big boy.
Yeah, he was big.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to intimidate you, and you just bump in, grips, tornado throw.
Yeah.
Him so hard.
8 mats over.
That was crazy.
But then I was standing next to you talking to you afterwards, and he's like, remember, he came up and was like, I just want you to know I'm like the number 1 ranked guy in the world for IBJJF.
Yeah. He's like, you should feel lucky to know that or something.
Yeah.
Lucky to
In a
know
way,
that.
though, he was giving you props.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was.
He took it well.
He was cool. He
Yeah.
just was, you know, you don't see that a lot in jiu-jitsu.
Especially at blue belt.
It's kind of like that MMA mentality.
Yep.
Especially at blue belt.
Well, it was cool. It was cool that he.
Thank you, Josh.
It was cool that he competed too in that because it was
of his ranking.
It was World League. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
IBJJ.
Yeah,
No, it
and
was
it didn't add anything to
super
that.
cool.
during
Yeah.
it, so it was cool.
That was
It was a good experience for me.
that day. I did a competition. Josh was watching.
Yeah.
And I was a white belt at the time, and also ultra heavyweight, right? And my boy, but this is what I love about jiu-jitsu, man. Anytime I've been beat in jiu-jitsu, I've become good friends with these guys, like from other gyms.
That is how. Yeah.
So this guy's
Form a good friendship.
Brian Church, and he's up in
His
Frisco.
name sounds familiar. Yeah.
He came down. I think he
Does
might have
some
trained
woodworking
once.
stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, for that, I'm going to give him a shout out because last week we did product photos for Little Cattle Co. for our website, and I had been talking with him months ago about making some cutting boards because he makes these beautiful handmade cutting
Yeah.
boards.
He's good.
And he like laser etches stuff on them if you want. Bro, and so I was like, hey man, can you do some cutting boards for us? He's like, yeah. And so anyways, then I realized last week, I'm like, I never formally placed that order.
Oh.
And so I hit him up and I was like, hey dude, this is on me. And he's like, tell me what you want. And then I get a text. It's like middle of the day on a Wednesday. I get a text like an hour later. I'm at the wood shop. Do you want white oak? Do you want that? I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, I'm at the specialty wood shop. And he dropped everything. He got them done in a day.
That's awesome.
A day.
We're savage.
And he's a good dude, too.
Yeah.
He's so, and by the way, I remember when he came out to the warehouse to deliver them to me, I remember how big he is, bro. He makes both of our hands look small.
Yeah.
He's also a D lineman in college.
Yeah.
He's a big boy, bro. He's
Yeah.
a big boy. I feel really small around him. but in that competition, so Brian, thanks bro for the for the rush work. Y'all got to go check him out. I'll pull up his page in a minute, but
Yeah, I wrote down his name. I want to check out some stuff.
Yeah.
I think maybe I've interacted with him on social
he
media.
does.
Probably.
Yeah, he does more woodworking too. Like he'll even do renovations and he'll do cabinets and this is like it's his side hustle. He does incredible work.
That's awesome.
But he, he'd rush that. So when we did World League competition, we stood up for the first 4 minutes.
I've got it all on video.
Yeah, it's good. We stood for 4 minutes, and at one point he bull rushed me, and we had so much momentum. Oh, no. And this sounds.
Did somebody die?
No,
Okay.
but this sounds
No,
like
but
it wasn't. It was like a mix of exhaustion and momentum, if this makes sense. Like we got moving so fast, and he kept thinking I was gonna go down, but I kept my feet, and we were just moving so fast. Thank you. Yeah, I got Josh, your brother, with that. He's also a big D lineman. Yeah. But Brian bull rushed me across 3 mats.
Yeah, he did.
And the fact that we didn't run into like a girls match was incredible.
Literally
Do
3.
you remember?
Literally 3. It was like freight train. I was like,
people got mad at us, but it was like
nobody's going to get in the way to stop
dude,
it.
It was hilarious. But that was one of the most tired I've ever been in my whole life.
I bet.
Well, and that was
I
like your
know.
3rd match too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know what happened too? He it was just funny. He sweet talked the referee and was like, because he was like out of breath. He's like, and they were like, little in church, and he's like, hey man, like we're like the first seed. Can we like get a break and can you let these guys go? And he's like, I'm a big dude. I'm tired. And I was like thinking, oh, thank the Lord. But then I thought, wait a second, this is a chance to exploit him. So I looked at, and so the guy goes, the ref's like, okay, yeah, y'all can do that. And he looks at me, are y'all good with that? And I look at Rodrigo, and I'm like, get him while he's tired. And he's like, get him while he's tired. Rodrigo. Yeah. And I'm like, no, let's roll. Brian, I know you listen to the podcast, so I'm curious if you remember this, but I'm like, no, let's go. And he's like, the ref's like, okay, then y'all are gonna go now. And Brian's like, oh. And then about 10 seconds later, I was like, bad choice. Because even though Big Boy's tired, Big Boy still has a motor.
Right. Yeah.
And it was I lost that match, but he's been a good friend. We've trained since a couple times, and
It's a good experience. So, competing is a great experience. I was talking to Ian about this today, the big black belt at Formiga's gym, and he was talking to me about that and saying we were talking about competing and that there's value in competing. He's a fireman and
he's a stud
captain. I think I don't know rank.
He's seniored
ranks.
for sure.
Yeah, seniored position for sure. But he had a great perspective on that. But he was talking to me about competing, and he's like, it's valuable, it's useful for a lot of things, because he was talking about in his life, he's like, I'm past the point of caring about or accomplishing anything of note in my competition that would mean something to me. And so I compete. He goes, he was like, man, this is going to sound really cheesy, but I'm like, dude, you're super cool. Nothing you say is cheesy. Just talk to me. And he's like, I compete every day that I come in. I'm not just with my teammates, but with myself, like with the game I'm trying to play, the things I'm trying to improve on. And I thought that was a cool perspective, because he was saying like,
he does push.
Yeah.
Every day he's on the mats, he's pushing.
He told me his goal is to roll every single round, whether he gets beat by a white belt 10 times in the last round. He doesn't care. He's to push himself.
But he won't. He has some of the best jiu-jitsu I've ever seen in my life, and he's also like 6'4", 230.
Yeah. What did he taught Jesus in jiu-jitsu?
0, 0, was it
7?
6, 7, something like that.
Yeah, I think Weston taught at 7.
Yeah, so he was 6. He's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, he is. He
has the he kind of, so he's not exactly, but he's very Hodger Gracie-ish.
Yeah.
Meaning he's like true classic old school jiu-jitsu. But one thing about him is he never stops moving.
Yeah.
And he has the power and the speed and the knowledge, but he's like technique first.
Yep.
So he'll like flow roll and be murdering you. And then if he grips on and actually puts muscle behind something, it's like, yeah, it's he to me, he's one of the best people I've ever ruled with.
Me too. He was saying,
agreed.
I told him, I'm like, I was saying the same thing. I'm like, I said, you're Kung Fu Panda, dude. And he was like, he said, I'm the panda bear. I said, yeah, you're the panda bear. I said,
That's
you're
amazing.
always screwing around.
Yeah. I'm the panda.
You're calling me the panda.
I'm the panda.
You had the noodle dream.
Yeah. He was like, man, I wanted to, or I was like, you're always messing around, but it feels like when you're rolling against him, he's always screwing around, not screwing around, just lighthearted.
No, you're right.
He is destroying you.
Yeah.
Like constantly being playful, giving you grips, like conceding position, and immediately sweeping you. Immediately, it's just so deflating.
All while inversely coaching you what to do.
He's
Underhook,
don't do that.
underhook, sit up,
Yeah.
sit
Come
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like constantly telling you the counter to what he's doing. And I'm like, how is your brain working both sides so fast?
And I still can't get it.
It's not like it's also not. It's not like one position. Like underhook. Okay, hey now no. He's like underhook, move back, sit here, there, boom, 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 boom. Like he's like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, how are you moving this fast, being so big, and how are you coaching so fast?
And it feels like butter.
And then it's kind of he's not doing it at all. He's only doing it to help. And like if you rolled
it is
with
a
him,
help. It is
you
a
would
help.
feel that way.
Yeah.
But it's almost demoralizing because I'm like, all right, dude, you're killing me, and you're like telling me what to do, and I can't even keep up with what you're doing, much less what you're saying, and like it's demoralizing because, But
He gives you. Sometimes he'll give you position, or he'll let you get the sweep, and he won't just do it so that he can. Like, I know you're going to sweep me, and then I'm going to counter this with something else. He'll give you the sweep and the position.
Yeah.
And then you don't capitalize in the position, he'll make you pay for not capitalizing.
Yeah.
So it's not, he's setting you up, and you could if you just flowed all the way through it to the submission, he would let you do it. But if you don't, he's like, well, should have done something.
It's actually literally one of the best teaching styles. Like,
I agree.
When I roll with him, I'm like, while I said just a second ago it's demoralizing, it's also like, I'm like, wow, I just learned so much.
Oh yeah.
I just spent probably 30 minutes after class today with him, just working on stuff. I got stuck in under Ryan, and he's just like, will destroy you from top. So then I asked Ian about it, and he was like, here, you just do this and this. I'm like, just do that when I'm smoked and there's a big strong dude on top of me. It's hard.
Just do this, man.
Yeah, and he was like, it's never going to be easy, but you might as well, like, whatever energy you use this escape.
Do it this way.
Yeah, but he's a great teacher, man. I can't say enough good about him.
We need to have him do another Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I would love that.
I
Hey,
agree.
what was that? I wanted to shout out before we fully forget, Brian
Church, BC Custom Woodworks.
BC Custom Woodworks. On,
Taking the long way to heaven, Jesus was a carpenter, son, father, countryman.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Good dude.
I
And
like
he's,
that.
I mean, look at this.
Shout out, Brian.
Oh, yeah. And this is coming back off of an injury.
Yeah.
He just finished, he just recovered and started lifting again. And
PR, 600-pound deadlift.
and then
You follow him. You've seen him.
But then look at.
Yeah.
So that's an impressive deadlift. I'm taking your phone.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go, baby. Go, baby. Look at this.
Freaking tank.
Look at that. Butter.
Stud.
So,
But check
you
this.
can see his
Forgot to
woodwork.
struggle, Brian.
You can see you can see his woodworking, and you can see him in tank mode.
But look at this 600-pound deep squat, back squat.
Oh yeah, that one.
So a 600-pound deadlift is a man's world, but a 600-pound back squat with the
ridiculous.
depth. Watch this. Let's go, Brian. Oh,
see, that would make
That's
me
awesome.
be one of those Instagram
What a
reels where you
beast.
see something tear loose.
You would see my spine
Jim
explode
Fail Nation,
out of my
you
back.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my tailbone would shoot across the room.
look at this cutting board he did.
Sick.
Y'all check him
Face
out. He's
grain.
cool. Good dude.
Yeah, fun to train with.
I don't know. Do we have? I mean, we got a little time, right?
Yeah, let me. Wait, were you going to go into the scripture?
No, I was going to ask Josh about.
Yeah, and then I have something I'm going to bring up after you do that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. Well, Josh, I mean, I know this. You could take a ton of time to talk about this, but like maybe you could just give us some highlights and maybe some father-son like moments that stuck with you from your recent trip to go get your new Belgian.
Yeah.
New because you already have one.
I already have one. Now I have two.
It wasn't enough.
Well, if you can have one chaos machine, why not have two?
Right.
Explain for the people that are not tracking. So far.
Belgian Malinois. It's a dog.
It's a weapon, but yeah.
It's a fur missile.
Fur missile.
It's the best dog in my opinion. My first one was a mix. I actually got him at the shelter, and so he's not a trained attack dog or anything. But I thought he was a mutt, and so when I was taking him to obedience training, after a month he started growing a little, and my trainer was like, "What kind of dog do you say this was?" I was like, I don't know. It's a mutt. He's got pointy ears, probably a shepherd. And we did a DNA test, and it was a Malinois. So it's a working dog, so obviously they need a little bit extra attention and extra work.
Very high energy.
Very high energy, very smart. Like, escape artists. So he's great. He's 3 years old.
It's the dogs that deploy with the SEALs.
Yeah, they use them. You'll see them in a lot of the bite suits. They jump. They're fast. They're strong. I mean, it's just the best dog, in my opinion, because they're super sweet too. And I thought, well, I have one.
Especially to drug dealers.
I've been in the bite suit with one of these before, so I know what they bring to the table. But no, I had a mutual acquaintance. I've never met the guy, but we follow each other on Instagram, and my kids think he's cool. He does the live action Ghost for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So his Instagram is Jammer Actual. He's a cool dude. He works for Bortac. He's been on a couple of podcasts. So I don't know the guy, so I'm only saying that because he put me in touch with this lady that was looking to rehome her dad's 10-month-old Belgian Malinois puppy. And he suddenly passed away, and I kind of had decided I only wanted one unless the right situation came, and this was the right one. So me and my two boys decided to take a epic road trip.
Super epic.
Can't remember how many thousands of miles. It was over 2,000 miles in 4 days, I think. But we went to Arizona to get her. Bella is her name. And she is a purebred Malinois, and she is already bigger than my first Malinois. So they're
She's big.
Yeah, don't come up to the house. They'll come to the window. No, but the cool part was, like, we homeschool. So I asked the boys, like, hey, do y'all want to go on this road trip with me? Like, it's going to be fast. We're going to be in the truck a lot, but we can see some really cool stuff. And they were like, yeah, let's go on this adventure. So we went to Tucson, but we stopped off the first night in Big Bend, which is pretty much down on the Mexican border, down South Texas. And
It's where we've got a 9,000-foot mountain
yes,
in Texas. I'm just saying, Texas. You didn't know that?
No,
We got a niner, bro.
That's sick.
It's beautiful down there too. I've got a lot of pictures.
Texas has everything.
It does.
But listen, we're full. We're full. So stay away.
It's actually terrible, right?
I really hate it.
If you're from California, I just want you to know it's really horrible.
Really, it was hot and
Brandon
miserable.
Yeah.
Such
And people have so many
buddies.
guns and stuff, so
Yeah,
don't move here.
I hate it.
It's crazy.
But no, heading into Big Bend, like just seeing the scenery and seeing their faces, like they've seen the Smoky Mountains, but there's something about like just being with your dad and like Smoky Mountains are pretty. East Tennessee is pretty, very pretty. Anyway,
I actually like Tennessee, but
yeah, Tennessee's a close second. But we go down there and just all kind of
if you
fun
ain't
little
first,
things.
you're last.
We
Sorry, I just have to represent the obnoxious Texan.
I understand.
Yeah.
But like
Thing.
it was so sparse. That was even cool for me. Like heading into Big Bend, there was, I think we counted like the boys were, because they've lived in the city all their life and even living here. So we get down there and we're driving down this. I don't even remember which road it was, but like heading to the park to Big Bend. It seems like the road goes to the horizon.
Yeah.
And we didn't see another car on the road for maybe 50 minutes straight.
That's
And then
awesome.
we saw one. So they were like thinking it was awesome. And they're like, Dad, you could drive in the middle of the road. And I was like, I can drive in the middle of the road. So we're like in the middle of the road. And they're like,
Dad, you can fire your Glock out the sunroof. Pop, 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 pop.
do that every week. No.
Because again, Josh is originally from Memphis.
The
Memphis,
typical
Maine.
4th of July, was that fireworks or guns? No. But they're like, we can go as fast as we want. So like, we're doing like 109 down the
Sick.
middle of the road.
Just a straight
straight
road,
shot,
Yeah.
super safe. But no, fun stuff like that. We got to camp.
That's awesome.
And they were all each excited for their own thing. So the biggest thing was they took their binoculars and they had like their star chart on their phone because, again, with the light pollution, they're not used to seeing stars.
Yeah.
And then if you go down to Big Bend, you can see some
By
stars.
the way, if you go to Big Bend, you need to be strapped. If you're on that border, bro.
I heard about that.
May or may not have been strapped.
Oh,
With
yeah.
them purple belt
know.
guns.
We know, baby.
Rear naked joke.
Now I'll tell on myself. I took my normal my carry pistol, my Glock, and then there's bears in Big Bend, so I took my 44 Magnum as well because I thought this 9mm not going to stop a bear.
Nope.
And then I took another rifle for the cartel just in case.
Should give him a little piece of your mind.
Just for good measure.
Yes, we were pretty strapped.
We were talking about it. I forgot. You were texting us during that time. You were like,
And
glad you brought your rifle.
Jake had a
tomahawk. So
We're good.
it was funny too. So when we're cruising down there, like there's a border patrol checkpoint, and like heading into the park.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
In Texas? Going to Texas?
Yes. Because it's so close.
I do not comply, sir. I do not comply.
Try it. No, but going through.
Don't you see these Texas plates?
They do. Okay. Unfortunately, there are some Texans that will bring people, drugs back out. So on the way in, it was just kind of like how's it going? Cool. So we camped. The boys.
Okay, I see. I see more. I still don't feel like complying, but I see more.
They had a Malinois
So
too.
out of the park.
Did they have two?
I didn't have any with me at that point.
That's true.
I didn't take my one, and I hadn't picked the other one up yet.
Can you imagine the window down and a fur missile just coming into the car?
I've seen lots of videos.
Same.
Lots
Fires
of videos.
me up.
Yeah, me too.
So you go into the park.
Into the
which
park.
goes close to the border.
I mean,
Touches the border.
It
It is
touches,
okay.
yeah.
So,
It
so
is
then
the
when you
border.
come out, they are. That's why they're more.
So on the way
suspicious.
out,
Okay.
they actually stopped us, and
Yeah,
and honestly, after seeing the Sound of Freedom movie, like,
cool.
I could,
Glad they did.
I am, and I could also tell, like, it wasn't just like a normal stop, like roll down my window, talk to me. I had to roll down the back window. The agent was like actually talking to my kids, and like, I don't know, in Sound of Freedom, like, the guy I guess it's the mule or whatever they call him, whoever was trafficking the kid was just like, yeah, I'm his uncle, and the kid says nothing, and you could really kind of tell. And if you work for the Border Patrol and that's not what they were doing, they were just being nice, fine. But like, it seemed smart to me. Like, they're asking the kids, hey, when do you start school? Like, really getting them to talk. And I have a bed cover on my truck, so I had to open that up, and our story checked out.
I do not comply, sir. I do not comply. This is America.
But the Malinois was right there, so I complied.
No, I'm not trying to be one of those.
I understand.
There's a line, right? Our Border Patrol are awesome.
Yeah.
All law enforcement
they were super
are
cool.
awesome.
Really, it was a dad and two sons that had went camping. So, like, if you open the tailgate, you expect to
told the
see
same
a
story.
tent
Yeah.
and 3 sleeping bags, and
They were some rat-a-tat-tat.
that was under the sea. Yeah. But they were super cool, super nice. The boys thought it was cool and yet also nerve-wracking. They're like, oh,
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, so we left there.
It's not the time to joke, though.
No.
Like,
No. Well, they asked where we were going, and it seems kind of weird. Like, we drove from Dallas to Big Bend, and I'm like, I'm on my way to Arizona. And it took like an hour and a half detour.
but no, that's
we're going camping.
Bro, Big Bend is a huge tourist
I couldn't
attraction.
drive past it and be an hour from it, and
No.
it's
It's a huge
stop to
tourist
camp.
attraction. I think that's...
But then they're asking, what are you doing in Tucson? I'm like, I'm going to go pick up a dog. What kind of dog? Belgian Malinois. And then they're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. So
Yeah, then you could do whatever you want.
yeah. Once I had her, it was game on.
Cool.
Even though she wouldn't listen to me at that point.
Are you something? I'm sorry. I was just thinking about when we went on our trip to Colorado. Jake came with us, and I really loved something, or what I loved about him being in the truck was that a typical. He's
13.
okay. A
He'll be
typical
14 in December.
13 to 14-year-old is glued to their cell phone,
Yeah.
watching TikTok, watching whatever. But he was not.
Probably nothing good on
Yeah,
TikTok.
no, and he was not doing that.
No.
I mean, I know he's not set up like that right on his
Yeah.
phone, but it was just refreshing to have someone that age be totally engaged in the conversation,
Yeah.
asking questions, us talking back and forth to him. He was there for the conversation. So both of your sons were like that on the whole trip, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys listen to music.
All kind of
and-
music.
Yeah.
All kind of
yeah,
music.
Yeah. And played games and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
a classic father-son road
Yeah,
trip.
and honestly, like, we've never done anything like that before. So it was just, and it was not sporadic like I had it planned, but it was a lot to squeeze into 4 days. And So yeah, so
It sounds like an annual thing to me now.
I feel like it is.
They're at the age.
It was also
Yeah.
cool things like driving out of the park. We passed that random Prada store that's in the middle of nowhere.
Marfa.
Yeah, and so they were like, "What is this?" Like, I don't know. We're gonna stop and get a picture. Like, we weren't on a timeline. Like, hey, be in Tucson sometime Saturday to get the dog. Cool. So we could stop and do whatever we want. I kind of let them call the shots. Like, hey,
I
where
think
do
you
want
should
to
have
eat?
gone back to the border and tested said pup.
She's a little crazy right
know what
now.
I'm saying?
He's
Like,
working on getting her trained.
Let's find out what those genetics
I need
are.
to. They're 100%.
Yeah.
I need to get her recall better though. She might take off and just go on a rampage of her own and never come back.
Bro, she'd probably come back with tacos.
She probably would.
My brother, man. Y'all know Jonathan Kurth?
Yeah.
Solid dude. My brother and him were in Arizona with, and his uncle lived there, and they went to Nogales,
Yeah.
which at that point, which was only like 2-3 years ago, was the most violent border town between Mexico and the United States. In fact, there'd been like, in the previous like 6 months, there'd been like 13 Americans beheaded in that town.
Oh.
And they didn't realize all of this, and they went into Nogales at night, and it was only military-aged men, and there's this whole story, bro. It's hilarious. Like, the fact that they didn't
It's hilarious now.
Yes,
Yeah, now
the
that they made it
fact
out.
that they didn't get rolled up.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even do the story justice, but I just crack up every time I think about this, you know.
It's scary.
It really is though. I mean, when you think about it, like,
Yeah, Border Patrol's doing a good job. I mean, they're doing hard work.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Nogales is just an open checkpoint,
yeah.
and there's no passport to go in and out. They didn't have their passports with them. They just rolled across, and that's kind of what's crazy. And it's kind of one of those hot zones where it's just like everyone leaves it alone.
Yeah.
that's kind of scary.
You know, or at least it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago when this happened.
So we also on the way back went through White Sands, the military.
New Mexico.
That's in New Mexico
Yeah.
still? Okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember.
Pretty sure it's in New Mexico.
It's
Like,
before you get to El Paso.
it was like I can't remember. I've been there probably 4 times.
like a
when I
missile
was in El
testing
Paso.
place,
Yeah,
right?
but it's a cool destination.
It was
I can't remember
dark.
how long it took us, maybe 2.5 hours or something
Yeah.
to get there.
There was
It's
a lot of road
beautiful.
time, so everything blends together. But yeah, we ended up in Tucson, and
That's a
then
fun spot.
it's funny too. While we were there, it was like 20 degrees cooler in the Arizona
Yeah.
desert than it was in Dallas.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah, it
91
was
degrees.
Scorcher, dude.
It was 1:15 here when we left, and then we drove up. We made it all the way to Tucson, and our friend Cody Gandy lives like an hour north of that in Mesa. And so I was like, hey, bro, I mean, no expectation, but I'm not going to be an hour and not swing by. So we went to Black Rifle.
Sick.
He brought the kids out.
Cool.
The dog went nuts, so it probably wasn't a great visit for them, but got to see him. And then on the way out, he was like, hey, be careful driving through some of the Indian lands out there. You know, people go missing. And so, like, my boys were like, are we driving through Indian lands? And then, of course, we drove through Apache Nation. So
Sick.
I had them really on edge for that. Of course, nothing happened.
Of course.
But
Rat-a-tat-tat and fur missile.
right? Yeah, we did have fur missile at that point, and phew,
Fur missile might not have any commands on, but she'll go crazy and be a nice distraction.
yeah,
She'll take out one of them.
at least one of them. I wouldn't want to go against her. Again, I've been in the
legit.
bite suit before. I don't want those problems. But yeah, we came back, and then you know they were excited to go camping. Like, we've been camping before, but never like in the mountains and anything like that. And then I looked, and halfway home between Tucson and Dallas was Roswell, New Mexico. So they were all geeked out about aliens and stuff.
Aliens,
So
yeah.
we spent the night in an alien motel. And
Sick.
got
That's
to-
right, man.
I saw those photos.
got to walk around and get some pics. It was harder though because we had the fur missile, and
Yeah.
so. But like we
That's
got some
legit,
pics,
dude.
and
She'd find the aliens.
she'd find the aliens.
It's amazing how Zeke is 5.5. He'll be 6 in October, so he's closer to Brody's age than your boys. But it's cool to like watch how much it means to Zeke when I am just like, hey bub, I'm going to the store. Like, I'm going to the store to buy some, like, Kim needs some sour cream or something. I gotta go to the store just for that. I'm like, before it would just be like, I'm just going to get in and out.
It's a good condiment, by the way.
It's great. Oh, it's awesome. I mean, and it's great for French onion dip. That's my thing.
That's your thing. That's your
My
jam?
low carb snack is semi low carb snack is pork rinds and French onion dip. You should try it.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. But so anyway, we're going to the store for just a few minutes. Like I've started asking.
I just got hungry.
Yeah. Started asking Zeke to come with me, and it means so much to him. We're just going to the store. We're just going into Kroger for literally 5 minutes. But the fact that I asked him to come with me, is like it means the world to him.
It's good that you do that. So because I mean, I can tell you failures. Because it's so easy to be like, I'm just going to run and do it. Like, I don't want to. And it's not even like a conscious, I don't want to deal with my kid.
Yeah,
it's nothing like that.
No.
But I remember when I was a kid, like when I was at my dad's house, my parents were divorced. But I remember anytime like my dad was going to, like, we were doing like child manual labor. But I didn't care. I was with my dad. Like, he was always working. If we weren't going to the lake, he was like, I'm going to go cut some wood.
Yeah.
And like, well, I'm riding. Like, it doesn't matter. I know I'm going to get to stop at the gas station. I'm going to get a Coke and some beef jerky.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go chop wood all day.
Cool.
But it doesn't matter. I'm riding with my dad.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be honest, I did not do a good job with that with my kids in their younger years. And it even got to the point where like I would ask and, you know, they'd kind of be doing something. They'd be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And, so, and it's not really like that now.
Well, they're still young.
You fixed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. And
well,
you bring them along all the time.
I try to always
and
include them. And like on my birthday, I wanted nothing more than them to come with me to the jiu-jitsu tournament. But I knew like we had to get up early if we were going to be in Frisco by 8:45. So I just asked them. I was like, do y'all want to go? And Jarrett immediately was like, yeah. And Jake was like, what time? Because he's a teenager. But then I wasn't going to force them, even though deep down, and of course they're like, "Oh, we're going with you in the morning." I was like, "Man, that makes my whole day." Yep. And same with like, it's just real important to include them.
Yeah, Brody, who just turned 7, he's like, it's funny you said the thing about working with your dad because if I'm doing any kind of a job, like anything manual, he's right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
and like. That's his favorite thing. And I'm like, this is awesome.
It's a love language for your son.
Yeah.
Like to include them into your work or just include them in anything.
It's crazy, man, because I know, there's a whole rabbit, but I have another one. You know, Brody's 7 and then I have a daughter who's 5 and then Hunter is about to be 2. And so he's just hitting that age. Like, for example, just this week, he started leaving hats on his head.
Yeah.
So, you know, like every baby has a different age, but like when you try to put a hat on him, they just rip it off. Now he knows he's cute in it, so he like pulls it on. He'll like smile at you. He'll turn it around backwards. Mm-hmm. So he's just hitting that, and I'm just looking at him, going like, "Oh man, I get to do this again." And I know Brody's only 7; he's not grown, but it's just cool. Cause I'm just like, "Whoa, it's so
agreed.
It's so cool," and I just feel like it's such a blessing. Like I just feel so honored. Like, oh my gosh, I get another one of these little boys too.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool too. A quick rabbit trail on Hunter, but like also in general, like it's cool. Like my kids are older. JP's kids are older.
Yeah.
I mean, my youngest is like y'all's oldest.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it's cool to see you guys interacting with them as younger. But one thing that you said with the hat, it was funny. I look over the Saturday I was helping put the shelves up at Little Cattle, and well, first off, you can tell the age difference because Tyler was going to take my truck, and all the kids just loaded in it. It was super cool, and he was like, all right, I'm going to head up the road, and I got all the kids, and I was like, hold on, let me get my fanny pack out of there because it's just like laying in the back seat because I don't have to think about that with older kids. But so then all my stuff was over on the table in the corner, and I look up at one point, and I didn't say anything, but Hunter's like looking through my stuff. And he pulled my Oakleys out, and I saw him like trying to put them on his face. And then Amanda came over, and there was like, but he was, I don't know, like he was trying them, and I was like, this is a cool kid.
Like, sweet,
but it's that cool age where he's starting to figure it out. Like I could just tell if he had gotten them on and looked at me, he would have grinned.
Yeah,
like,
right. He'd have been real happy,
right. And I wouldn't have said nothing
for you to see him in.
I wouldn't have said nothing.
Heck
but.
yeah. My dad always said, and man, I think he pegged it, and it's not to that. Younger or older's bad, but he's like, dude, the sweet age, like the coolest time for young kids is 18 months to 4 years. It's like that, like exploration, innocent, you know, like
but still super like just want to be with you, just want to be held by you.
Well, and that's because as they get older, I mean, Jake's 13 going on 14, he likes to do stuff, but I do know like it doesn't have to be stereotypical teen years where like there's this huge divide, but I know as he gets older there's going to start to be that separation.
He's going to want more of his independence because he's growing
and he
into his
should
own man.
He's kind of figuring himself
he's becoming a man.
Yep.
And I went through that hard, and but
I do think as dads though we can help break that wall down, because like that's kind of something that I don't even know how, but I feel like my dad did a good job with that. Just like, you know, I don't know. I think as dads we can and look, every kid's different, and like every kid has free will, just like us with God.
Yeah.
Right? We have free will, and so children have choices, but I do think we can do our best to play our part, and not overly cheesy, but like to play our part to give as our boys are growing up, and daughters are similar but completely different at the same time, but as our boys are growing up, to like give them that space, but also not like still be there. Right. And I don't know.
And for me, that's why like I've really enjoyed this age with Jake and Jarrett too. Jarrett's 11, but like you said, he came with all the men on the Colorado Jiu-Jitsu trip, and he just fit right in.
He was just you could tell that's where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be playing at home, playing video games. He didn't want to be hanging out with some of his buddies. He wanted to be with dad and his grown friends, learning, watching jiu-jitsu, being a part of that.
Well, he was watching his dad like in random gas stations in the Texas Panhandle get,
can cracked with a twisted tea.
Twisted tea by Isaac in the middle of the gas station.
he got to see us. He had to see that. He got to see us walk into one random gas station quoting Hook from 1993.
Yeah, and the person was so confused because we were touching each other's
I was pulling his face back like, there you are, Peter.
They're probably still talking about y'all.
Those are some weird.
Y'all have a unique,
large,
like
weird
2 a.m.,
dudes. Yeah.
Right? Like 2 a.m. and Jake was just cracking up.
Jake would crack up, but he was in his element, and
that
he
was
could.
a weird gas station.
Oh yeah,
I was tired that night.
Yeah, we powered through, but he was in his element, and that's what's been really fun. Like I love hanging out with all my kids, but now that Jake is more coming into his own too, it's like, man, it's cool just to hang.
So so you were talking about earlier, you were like, I didn't do a good job of this when they were younger. I said I'm starting to do that with Zeke, and it's really because I'm so thankful. I pay attention, and I'm just encouraging anyone else out there that's a young dad, like Steven and I that have young kids, to make it a point to observe older, wiser men that have been through more stuff. They have older kids, they've been through life experiences, they've made mistakes, and they've also done great things. And so like if you just pay attention, you'll learn some ways that you can interact with your kids, or some areas that you're falling short in. And that's me constantly. I'm constantly like, man, I need to do that more with Zeke. I need to do that more with Selah. Like I've been really focusing on Zeke lately because I can see that it means a lot to him for him to come. But then Kim just told me yesterday, she was like, hey, so like once you took Zeke to the store the other day, and Selah was telling me she kind of felt left out, you know, so I took her to go get some flowers.
Right, yeah.
But I saw someone else do that. And
I almost brought that up the other day, or just a minute ago, I mean, because that's the thing. So Addison's 5, and so she wants time with
Selah's
Dad.
4. She's like right there,
You know? And it's easy to be, and I think I do a good job with Addison. I don't like love my boys more than I love my daughter, just for anyone listening. But it is easy to be like, oh, guy time, like we're going to Home Depot.
Right.
But she's like, Daddy, I want to go to Home Depot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man. So you gotta be like, it's funny you said that, because that's like I'm the exact same face. Because Brody and Addison are the same separation, but each 1 year older than your kids, right?
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Or like
Zeke
even
will be 6, and Selah just turned 4. So they're right there.
And like Brody this summer just turned 7, and Addison just turned 5 last month.
Yep.
Yeah. So and so it's the same phase, bro. Because it's easy to, and like both are important. Like the little boys need like one-on-one dad time,
right?
And the little girls definitely need one-on-one dad time.
Yeah. And they need to be. And this is something Kim and I were talking about yesterday, just like purposefully not excluding her, making sure she feels super included in what we're doing, and also explaining like, hey, this is my time with Bubba for him, but I have my own time with you. Like, and I took her the other day. We call it tornadoes. So like you have terrible threes, And then you have tornadoes. It's like, man, she is a tornado. She's 4 years old and she's a straight up tornado.
And she's
sometimes.
the middle child, bro. Addison and her.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have the. Yeah.
Like same. They're just like she's crazy. Like she's silly. But she's also like super emotional. You know? So she was just being a terror at the house the other day, and Kim's like, hey, you need to deal with your daughter because I do not. I'm about to go crazy.
My bandwidth is over.
And so I just like. And I try to, instead of just like getting onto her and just like, hey, cut that out. Quit having a bad attitude with mom. I'm just like, hey, Sayla, do you want to go to the store? We went to the store and bought some $6 flowers at the store. I let her pick some flowers. She went home. She was a completely different person.
Yeah.
We were gone for 20 minutes. We went to Albertsons and we got some flowers. And again, this is not my move that I made up. I watched wiser fathers that have been there and done amazing things. We have so many good examples of dads around us. And yeah,
I took Emily to. This was when we lived in Little Elm, and there was like a yogurt mountain or something. I don't even know what it's called, but it was just me and her. It was like a daddy-daughter day, and so this would have been 3. She was probably 4.
Yeah,
she's about to be 7, and to this day, she's like, "Remember that time you took me over that thing?" Like
like,
ours
I'm
is
gonna cry.
Addison's is
I know, right?
Moana food.
Oh,
which, as y'all know,
you showed us
Hawaiian
videos of
is
it,
Hawaiian
right?
Bros.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that was Brody watching more.
Yeah. But no, for Addison, it's just like, because like, I wanted to eat Hawaiian Bros.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, Addison, this was when she was younger.
Yeah.
You want some Moana food?
I
And
love
she's
it,
like,
dude. That's so cool.
yes. And so I get my
Delicious food.
Hawaiian food.
Yeah.
And then we end it with Dole Whip.
Oh, of course. Got to end it with Dole Whip. Yeah.
And that was like a thing because like when I discovered that Hawaiian Bros had Dole Whip, because we could only get it when we would travel to Hawaii or Disney World, like or anything Disney related, like Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Which those guys are a little out there. That's another topic.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that one there. But when I was younger, and so there was only a few places that I could search out Dole Whip.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Dole Whip is, just
Go to Hawaiian Bros and try it. You will not be disappointed.
it's incredible. And so that's like my thing, dude.
I love Dole Whip.
And actually, if you look it up, it's pretty healthy. So for ice cream or whatever, like the macros, and if you look at what's in it, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You realize that you were talking about spending time with your daughter, and we mentioned food, and then we took a detour.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
sorry,
dude.
Moana
I'm the
food.
same guy.
Moana food.
Yeah.
I got excited when you said Moana food.
Yeah.
But so that's the thing, man. And I think you're spot on. It's like but and also the same thing though is they're both middle kids, and that's like the middle kid, man. Because Brody is the and I think Jake is this way just by being around him. The stereotypical first kid, like, bro, he's just easy.
Yeah.
I can throw
responsible.
From the time Brody was 3, I could throw him in the truck with me, and we could do we could drove 10-hour road trip, and he would be quiet the whole time unless I engaged him, and he would talk, but I just mean like never, like just content,
Just
to be
easy
there.
with everything.
Content to be there. And then Addison is like, I love her, and she brings that flavor we need.
That was Jarrett for us, but now that he's 11, he's come into his own, and it's enjoyable. But he was the same middle child.
Gotta have that flavor.
He's the reason why there's a bigger gap between him and Emily. Because we were like, we can't do this anymore. I can't do any more of these.
Well,
so then 4 years later, it was like, we could try. Maybe we'll get a girl.
Yeah.
So,
And the point of it is bringing it back to what you're saying about like taking Sayla to get the flowers is it's just, okay, wait a second. Why are you acting out? Maybe you just need a little attention.
Yes.
And that's on us.
Specific
Well,
attention.
that's on us,
Just her.
right?
Yeah.
and
Right.
that's
our fault.
100% on us. And
Because how else does a 4 or 5-year-old communicate? They're still learning all that stuff.
Yeah, they're not going to say, I need attention.
Yeah.
They say it by throwing stuff against the wall and not being cooperative
which
and making a mess.
has to be addressed.
Getting-
But
Correct.
are we doing our part?
Yeah, we don't
leading up to that?
reward that behavior.
Yeah, you just punish the symptom. You
Right.
punish the symptom instead of solving the root problem, which is, you need more time
You need
with me.
some-
You need to know that I care about you, that I love you, that I see you.
Well, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. One thing that I struggled with too, and still do, I guess. Like, even subconsciously, like we let stresses or your day, like I've always been terrible about being the most short with my family and the ones I love the most,
Yeah.
even my kids, and not even. It could be in a small way, but like they're kids, and
Yeah.
it's easy to be on a road trip. I mean, we did 2,000 something miles. It's real easy to fall into straighten up back there, this or that.
Yeah.
But like, we're having fun on a road trip. We're eating junk food. We're eating sour gummies. We're, listening to whatever. I know I said the magic word.
Sour gummies.
I'm letting them drink Red Bulls and Celsiuses and,
Jocko goes.
Yeah, we did. Well, the Jocko goes we took, but then it's hard to
Yeah,
find.
after that, you
got
can't find them in the
drank.
Yeah.
store.
That makes sense.
Unless you drive to Wawa.
Fair enough.
That's all. There's no Wawa in South Texas. But it's real easy. I just remember like telling myself like we're just having a good time, man.
Yeah.
Like the trip is the trip. It's not. We're not. Yes, we're camping in Big Bend, and then we're going to Tucson, and then we're going to Roswell. But those are not the destinations.
No.
The trip is the trip, and
It's the journey, man.
Yeah, man.
It's the journey.
but it really is.
It really was. It's
And-
cool that they felt that from you.
and
I'm
they
sure.
could feel. I think I may have gotten onto them. I don't even have specifics. I feel like maybe I got onto them one time for just being too much in the truck.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of the time where like even on our trip, Jake sees us acting like complete knuckleheads.
Yes.
Having fun, and then they start doing it, and how quick are we or me, I'm not talking about
No.
y'all, maybe y'all aren't, and I'm just like, hey man, you need to straighten up back there.
No, you're preaching. This.
And man, let them be kids. I'm real easy when I see another dad getting onto their kid for being a kid to be like, I'm gonna mess this dude up. That
no.
kid didn't do, and then I'll go do the same
It's
thing
convicting.
to my kid.
Yeah. It's
And I-
really easy to
Well,
see
and
when it's other
there's
people.
a line like you want respectful, obedient children, like that we're called to do that.
Correct.
But then we have to be able to detach. And you know what I think? And I think we have it harder because than like our parents did. I really do and it's our faults. But like we have the greatest distraction in the history of the world is cell phones, like smartphones.
For sure, man.
So we have these, and I'm preaching to myself. We get sucked into them, and then we're not giving our kids attention. So then they act out, and then we lash out because they're acting out. And then if they have devices, that cycle's perpetuated on their side. And so it's like, it's like we sign up for these things, but it's like our parents didn't have that,
Right.
There's
new layers.
And I'm really like like they had the Nokia, like they had Snake on the phone. That was cool, but it didn't.
you can only play that for a little bit before you get tired.
Correct.
Of it. Yeah.
I would love to. I wish like I could parent in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was a
The
totally
80s,
different
90s.
time.
Like I would, it's tougher. Like what we have is tougher. But you always have to remember, like the Lord called us for this. Like we were meant to be parents in this age, and
Right.
our children were born to handle today's
You're
age.
right.
But it doesn't mean, and this is one thing that the Straussbergers do amazing. It doesn't mean that they have to fit into the quote unquote the culture or whatever. Like your kids don't have streaming.
Yeah, I was gonna
they
bring
don't
that
have
up.
smart
Yep.
stuff. Like that's so freaking smart because in a way you're like, okay, I am gonna raise you in the 90s.
It's true.
In a sense. Now you still have a smartphone and
Yeah.
have that distraction, which I know for me that's like my biggest, because I'm like, man, I run my business off this. I have like important things
Yeah.
on this, and it's like,
And there are fruitful, positive things that happen, but you just have to be careful not to.
I have a hard time detaching from it and
Same.
like setting it down and
too.
actually leaving it down. And my wife is constantly trying to encourage me to do it. And
Mine too. We're in the same boat, bro. We are exactly the same.
it's like, no, someone messaged me
Yeah,
on the Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu page. I got to. It's
Exactly.
like, but
Yep.
your kids like
Yeah.
screaming for your attention.
Message them later.
But yeah, and I understand. So for me, it's like I've discovered it's this like underlying anxiety of like,
Yep.
well, once I finish this, I can actually focus and
Yep.
give all my attention and effort
But
to my
this
kids.
never
It
ends.
never
Yep,
ends.
yep,
You're right.
yep,
It's
yep.
a trip. It's a trap.
Oh, I'm feeling convicted. Jesus, forgive me.
Same.
Yeah.
This has been a constant thing. We've talked about this in other forms before, but like just the distraction thing.
Yep.
It's a constant battle for me, and I am going to win.
Yeah.
We are going to win.
We are. Amen.
But it's like I don't want to. If you've ever seen, they're so cheesy, but they're convicting. The little memes of like the couple laying in bed and they're both like rolled away from each other, like on
Yeah,
their
back to
phone.
back.
Yeah.
on their phone. Yeah.
And Amanda and I are pretty good at not being that couple, but there's definitely moments where we're like, oh, we just wasted 30 minutes. What are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
we should be hanging out together. And I'm
Yep.
like, we should be hanging out together,
Yeah.
And so,
Yes.
but I'm just saying that.
But you're right. And one thing you said about the no technology, like they have old iPhones that connect to Wi-Fi, but there's there's nothing on there that they can. There's no streaming anything.
Yeah.
Like we canceled all of our streaming,
And there's no social media.
no
right?
social media. Yeah. Oh no, absolutely not.
My kids aren't gonna have it, bro.
Yeah,
until
me
they're
neither.
like way older,
Yeah.
if ever.
But it's
Till their 40th birthday.
Addison can have it when she's 34 and she gets married.
Yeah.
right. But we're gonna talk to her husband.
Yeah.
Big
I'm
time.
sure.
I'm telling you.
What is that? Den of Thieves? Is that the movie?
Yeah.
That scene we're always
they're all
laughing
in
about.
that.
dude?
They're coming into they got like pipes and chains. And
Why do you
whatever.
think I found you? I needed some Samoans in
Yeah.
my circle
I just
to terrify
invite
my
Josh.
daughter's future boyfriend.
I want Josiah,
Josh, Saya,
you two,
my
JP,
brother-in-law Riza,
and then
JP,
Emily's
Steven.
first boyfriend comes over, and y'all are just in my garage.
That's gonna be bad because we'll hit him.
I'm fine with that.
I'm just saying.
I'm fine with
like,
that.
you think you're gonna put us all in a garage and be like, "All right, this guy wants to take Emily out, and we're all gonna be cool." Like that's gonna de-escalate.
It's fine with
fast.
me. It's fine with me. But no, on the 90s thing, it's fun. What the other thing that's cool about it is like we don't have to worry about what they're like. It literally has to be on DVD now for them to watch it.
Yeah.
So
That's super smart. man.
like so Emily has a TV in her room and a DVD player in her room. She's only allowed to watch it at certain times, but like in the morning she can just pop one of her discs in and watch it. And I know like it's
Everything's
obviously
approved.
something we've seen before.
course.
There's
Used to
there's
be
no
us, yeah.
ads
Yep.
and there's nothing, and so
That's how we grew up. It was safe.
Ads are hard.
It's
That-
much-
that's
the ads are what got me because we had
yeah.
all the locks on everything, and we have a Roku TV.
yeah. Me too.
And so everything was locked down pretty tight. I'd feel good about it. And then just the random ads would come up on the kids' shows. And that's really what pushed me to my
It's because they're coming after your kids, bro.
100%.
So my
It's
kids like
intentional.
we
This
I
is a
let
whole
them watch,
episode. We need to have we need to talk about this, Lucas.
We will.
No,
Yeah.
we need to save it for when JP's on here because I want to hear him get fired up. But they
Right.
are coming for our children.
100%. And I'm going to get fired
So
up right now.
so I like to watch. I mean, I remember like I watched SpongeBob way back in the day, and I understand. I mean, I haven't seen them all up to a certain point, and I know like that's cool. The kids will just think it's silly, and that's kind of a fun little thing that they can watch just for entertainment. That's fine. But like I would put that on, and it's on Nickelodeon streaming on Paramount, and then during a certain month, there was a lot of Pride stuff aired in between episodes of this kid show. So I'm like, I'm gone, and then I come back, and there's like, what are you talking to my kids about that stuff for? Why are you plastering that all over literally in between kids' cartoons? You're talking about that. It's extremely purposeful. It's on purpose. So anyway, but yeah, I love this. I'm glad we got to talk about this. Josh, though, I think we need to get to the scripture.
Yeah, we probably do. Oh, wait, I'm doing that?
Yeah, that's on you, homie.
okay.
Although, I think, well, I mean, I'm not ever sad about making a longer episode. People wait a week for it to come out, so we're just giving you more content to listen to
Yeah.
over the week. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll just give you a 4-hour-long episode. Can we do that? Lucas, can we do that? He's laughing. And give us a thumbs
Got
up.
the thumbs
All right.
up. I
The
don't know.
Viking gave the thumbs
Dude,
up.
we
I'm
could
really
eat up
glad.
4 hours.
I'm really glad y'all got to meet Lucas more formally than just from the other room. Yeah, could we just let's just go back to Castle Rock and do another, which we need to do anyways, another Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu, and let's just do a 12-hour episode on the road.
Heck yeah, dude.
Bro.
Actually, it'd be dangerous. People would be like, remove them from the
Yeah.
ministry.
Yeah, for real.
These guys aren't qualified.
These guys are heathens.
And it's me.
Especially start putting on that like sophomore year alternative rock music that emo rock we were jamming in the car.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
These guys' taste in music's horrible. It was 2002, bro. Let's
Mine's
go.
all over the map. I can't help it. I grew up in the 90s, 80s and 90s.
In Memphis, Maine.
And then emo came out. I like it all. All right, scripture time.
Scripture time. Bring the word, Joshy.
I'm just going to preface it real quick because Isaac asked if I had a scripture, and I said no, but I can have one. But if you have the Bible app, which you should, you can set a widget on your screen, and it will pop up your verse of the day.
Oh, cool.
And
I didn't know that.
it's cool. Like so, on mine, I always have a photo memory, and then the Bible verse of the day widget.
Genesis 1:1.
Yeah, just one, super easy. But it's cool because it's just right there. So like it's a easy thing to have some scripture in front of your face. Anyway, so although it seems like a cop-out, this verse has been used today. So this morning, and I'm not going to go into the full detailed story on it, but and I'm not going to say any names, but JP texted me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I've got some calls and stuff." And he said, "Oh, can you hop on a call?" And I was like, "Well, maybe 10, 15 minutes I'll be done." And he was like, "Oh, no, don't worry about it." And I was like, "Well, hold on. What's going on?" And we had a freedom call with somebody he knows. So I was like, I dropped it. Nothing I was doing was that important. So stopped that, got on the call, and we were talking about a lot of stuff. We talked about a pursuit and just helping this young man out. He's a very sharp man, he's Christian, just dealing with some stuff. Don't have to go into detail, but some of the stuff he was struggling with is something that we all struggle with. And so we praying. JP went through a lot of the spirits, closing those out, closing doors and stuff. So we had a real good call. And then my verse of the day popped up, and I was just thinking about, like, when we're struggling with things, like one of the things I said was, hey man, like, we all struggle with anger. We all struggle with, whatever it is, but it's not just us. We have help. And then my verse of the day popped up, and it's Isaiah 41:13. So it's probably a coincidence.
Total coincidence.
But it says, "For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee." So I got to use it this morning to help a fellow brother out on a call, and I thought, well, why not share it on the podcast? So that's my verse today for us to dissect.
I think it's awesome. I have a verse highlighted earlier in the thing, which is along the same lines. Fear not. This is verse 10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand.
Tell us about that right hand. What did Lucas tell us about that?
I was asking Lucas about it.
You ready? Here's what we do. So the right hand is right here. So what this is used for is... Just kidding.
Slapping the enemy. No, it's the... so we were asking Lucas, because this like right hand is kind of a theme in here. I mean, Jesus is sat at the right hand of the Father. You have God saying, "I will uphold you with my righteous right hand," and then saying, "Fear not... for I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand."
Hold that right hand, yeah.
So, but Lucas was kind of explaining some of the context of that. Essentially, it's that it is the right hand is like there's kind of twofold. So it's like a place of honor, and then it's also the sword hand. So,
place of honor, isn't that where the sun set?
Yes,
and Jesus sits on the right hand.
Righteous right hand, yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I'd like to dive in. I'd like to learn more about what that means in context, but it's awesome to know that. So on verse 13, so I listened to this commentary. Once you texted us the scripture, I was like, I wonder what the context of this is. Like, this is God talking to Israel, but in what context? And so I listened to this video of this guy talking kind of like about the scriptural context, and he was saying that this was written in a time when Babylon had conquered Israel,
right?
And they were in this period of, like, they knew that it wasn't going to be forever, but it wasn't going to be over in the foreseeable future. So they had kind of despaired, but they knew that eventually one day this will be over. But I think it was like 70 years or something that they were conquered, and they were persecuted for their beliefs, and they were under the rule of King Nebuchadnezzar. And so I was listening to this video, and he was talking about what ended up happening eventually was that I think it was Cyrus. Cyrus from Persia. Got a thumbs up from Lucas.
Okay, we're on the right track.
Yeah, so Cyrus from Persia wrote that kingdom rose up to be powerful enough to conquer Babylon, and once that happened, Cyrus eventually let the people of Israel go back to where they were from and rebuild and reinstate their customs and practice their religion, worship in the temple, and all that stuff. And so anyway, it was cool to listen to. That was the context of this verse. So it was like in the midst of struggle, in the midst of feeling like shackled, in the midst of despair and depression, God is telling them of the future to come for them. Like, I'm with you, and I hold your hand. And another commentary I was reading was talking about the intimacy of holding someone's hand. Like, that is not a, hey, I'm going to watch over you from afar and make sure things happen. I'm not going to just go before you and you'll follow behind me. This is like I'm holding your hand through the difficulty. It's like, that's really intimate. That's really powerful. God himself will hold my hand through difficulty, through hardship. Like, he's not far off watching me saying like, you're going to be okay. He's right.
Hey, you got this.
Yeah. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
He's holding my hand.
See you on the other side.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that. Yeah. And then eventually he led them through by means of, another powerful nation conquering that nation and setting them free, letting them go. So that was cool. And it's, I wish I'd like to spend more time personally, like, understanding the context of what things were written, because it just adds so much depth and like, power to what a scripture that's already powerful,
Right.
Because we have a tendency to put ourselves in the middle of the scripture. Well, this scripture is just about me.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's about Israel in the context of Babylon.
It might even be more powerful than just like you're saying. Like,
and they were set free. It was a promise to them. Good. That's about the faithfulness of God. So,
but we do have that much power helping us too. Yeah. So it is kind of about us.
Yes. Well, I'm saying this demonstrates
we can really like try to put it in a box.
Yeah.
And
did you drink 2 goes, Isaac?
I did.
I should have done that.
I know. Crack one of these bad boys. We'll get it replaced.
Yeah, I'll replace it.
Uncle Joshy's got you, dude.
Uncle Joshy.
He's 40 now. I'm gonna start calling him Uncle. You've crossed the threshold.
I crossed the threshold. Yeah.
You're like Master 6 now. Did you know that?
Technically, I'm Master
3. Yeah. Yeah, Master 3.
Master 3.
Oh, speaking of masters, just need to give a shout out to my brother Ben Brandon, our brother 3Z.
Yeah.
3Z, who is a Masters 2 blue belt heavy weight division world champion. Was. He got promoted on the purple purple belt. So
boom.
Congratulations, brother. Proud
awesome
of you.
Job, Ben.
Boom.
Pursuit brother.
Brother.
By the way, Pursuit, if you guys are interested in doing that, we have one. They'll get this after this Pursuit.
We'll have just finished because we're leaving in 2 days.
To do P11. So you guys will have the opportunity to sign up for P12, which is in October. I don't know the date.
Yeah, October.
And then
it's like 17 through 21 or something.
Yeah. And then Pursuit 13, P13 will be November 30th through December 3rd. So men, go sign up for that. They also have women's ones. You can check that out on the website.
I think allegedly P13, all 4 of us are supposed to be at.
It's the first one in a while that first one in a long while that the 4 of us will be together.
That's
JP,
sick.
You, Isaac, and me. Because
P7 was the last.
P7 was the last, but the 3 of us did 8, 9, and we did 7. We did 7, 8, and 9. No, we did P5, 7, 8, and 9 together. Yeah. The 3 of us. And then Josh ditched us for P10.
For P10. But it was awesome.
Which is okay. It's fine.
It's all right.
You went to Origin Camp and y'all ran those Bible studies.
I was saying,
which was legit.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, I didn't. JP did.
But that November, December Pursuit is going to be incredible.
So sign up. Also, we'll just be transparent with the cost for it, $380, right? And that covers like I
think that's right.
Yeah, it covers the cost of your lodging, of all of your food, of the material, the printed materials. And so that's really cheap considering all of the things that happen. But if that's steep for you, like, we don't want money to be a barrier. Like, if you can pay your way, you should, because it helps the ministry. Pursuit does not make any money off of what they do. In fact, for years they've spent and invested their own money to get guys to go there. And we also have some generous donors too that have paid the way for people to go. But if you need help, if money's a barrier, we want to be able to help you with that. So please reach out to some of us about.
We always have a couple. There will always be a couple type scholarship opportunities for those events, and so it's cool too, because I think a lot of people that will have, at the time maybe needed a scholarship or partial scholarship to be able to go to Pursuit, when their situation changes down the road, they'll turn around and like sponsor someone or a couple people, and so it's a really cool opportunity.
Yep. And they're going to want to go back and serve. Yep. Mm-hmm. You should. I highly recommend it.
Also, Jesus in Jiu-Jitsu has had the honor and the opportunity to be able to sponsor a few things for Pursuit recently because of your generosity, because you sponsoring podcast episodes and buying merch and donating at events and stuff like that, we've been able to help out Pursuit, our brothers at Pursuit too. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Josh, it was your scripture, so you're praying.
I'm praying.
You're praying, bro. Let's go.
All right. Nothing else to add. We're good.
And your mother donated,
My mother.
so you're going to bless your mother in this prayer. Let's go.
I can do that. That's easy.
Which, by the way, that really has nothing to do. It's just, I just realized. No, we'll just leave it. We thank and honor. I was going to say, like, I don't know, like, it's not like, oh, we want to bless someone because they donated. And that's like financially.
No.
It's the heart. I just thought
you said
that could
Yeah.
sound weird saying
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We
It's
knew
the
what you
heart
meant,
of
but,
your mom being so awesome that for your birthday, she wanted to just bless you, the ministry that you're involved in, that she
Right.
believes in. So,
Which she
yeah,
knows
every-
she
I
knows
think-
all the things that it does too. It's not
Right.
like it directly benefits you in any way.
Yeah.
It's we're using the money to help people, and
Yeah.
Right.
super cool.
Yeah. Good clarification.
I just thought that every now and then someone's like, oh,
No.
His mom gave him money through his. No. We got it.
yeah. Well, more than that, just like, oh, they want to bless them because they gave money to
Yeah.
anything. We want to bless all. In fact, just do that. Bless all the listeners.
bless all
to
the
episode
listeners.
028.
Yeah.
And
But especially my mom.
yes,
Especially your mom.
Because she put up with me for 40 years.
And that donation will go to buying some Twisted Tea, so you can pop you upside your head in the gas station.
oh my gosh.
By the way, we're not buying Twisted Tea.
We have
with
not
donation
spent
money.
$1 on Twisted
Not
Tea.
at all.
We
No.
took one out of the case to hit me in the head
For a
and then put
picture.
it back.
Steven
was a
snapped,
photo op.
Steven snapped the picture.
That was a sick
Yeah.
pic. Yeah.
I have a concussion from that.
If you haven't seen that video that happened at a gas station,
Viral video of a dude
it's pretty good.
finding out
Yeah.
with the Twisted Tea.
Yeah.
Josh, pray us out.
Hold on.
bro.
I got to
such
tell one more story.
Such a
go, 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 go.
digression. I apologize.
This is bonus content. Go
Bonus
ahead.
content.
By the way, anyone that's still listening is a true,
We love
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
true fan.
So, as you can tell, we have a lot of shenanigans in gas stations. Isaac has called me into manhood in Taco Bell lobby. We have had the Hook, Peter Pan, Rufio, all that stuff.
Yeah.
In so if you haven't seen Hook, it's classic, like 30 years ago. But beyond that, like there's always some type of violence when me and JP are in anywhere, and we both try to pay, and he always tries to steal my blessing, and these two knuckleheads always let him steal my blessing and somehow make me out to be the one that's robbing a blessing. But so Steven has been there for one. We went to Black Rifle Coffee in Colleyville, and we were about to get in a fight at the register, and the lady was like, y'all can take that outside. It's just a normal occurrence. So, like, anytime he's about to pay, I try to pay. We fight. We talk crazy. Like, he's threatened to pull a knife on me in a gas station in Stephenville. And, like, it was... So, I say all that to say... and I called JP after this happened, but last week I was at Coco Shrimp because I eat there once a week, and there was a Denton police officer next to me, and I was like, I'm going to pay for his meal. So I'm paying for mine, and he's about to pay for his, and I just kind of step over, and I'm like, I'm going to pay for it. And he's like, no, man, you don't have to do that. And I just looked him straight in the eye, and I go, I'll fight you. Body cam and all. The two people at the register and the managers, three people on the counter, they just stop. And it's almost like the music stopped. And then my slow self hears myself after I say it, and I'm like, ooh, that's not my...
Did you just threaten a
I
police
bet
officer?
he loved it though.
He did. He immediately, he looked at me and goes, I can see your ear, man. I don't want that. And I'm
did
like...
he see your ear?
He did. And I go... I wouldn't really fight you, man. But don't push me. Like, by that point, like, his little comment made me feel it was okay. But that initial, without it, because I'm so used to JP causing a scene or one of these
violence.
guys. Like, I threatened.
One of the Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu guys gets arrested for verbally assaulting a police officer in
It's
Coco
all on
Shrimp in
body
Denton,
cam.
Texas.
But, like, both.
We knew these guys were fakes.
But the poor
messed up.
kids.
We've admitted that.
The poor kids behind the register were just like,
Yep.
if you could see my face. But, like, it just.
What
it's-
if that dude had straight batoned you in the temple?
Is
Like,
I
I'll
would've-
fight you. Shoot. boom.
I would have deserved it.
No, you wouldn't have deserved it. You're trying to buy him beautiful breaded cocoa shrimp and rice.
I did threaten a police officer, but he was super cool. But it happens all the time. I mean, we went to Whataburger
People
not
can
long
threaten
ago.
to buy my lunch all day long. Okay. All right. Yeah, threaten me. You want to fight me? Okay, fine.
Oh, no, don't buy me delicious shrimp and rice.
What happened at, what was it? Where did we go? Was it? Oh, it was after a podcast.
Now, this is bad. I feel a little bad about
are
anger
we?
for this. But, hey, since we're going long, we'll tell one more story.
Go ahead. Bonus
Shirley's
content.
never going to get her blessing.
Sherry.
Gosh. I'm
That's
sorry. I tried to read.
I'm gonna zip in my fanny pack.
Don't do that.
Okay, sorry.
I haven't got to meet your mom yet.
I know. She'll come to an event.
Sherry, I apologize, but now I'm going to remember it.
That's not bad, though, considering I haven't met you. So there's no.
I was trying.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to.
Now you'll remember. So last podcast, me and Ike went to. We
It
won-
felt wrong when it came out of my mouth, by the way. Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't
That's
think I
not
got
right.
it.
It's close. But no, me and Ike wanted to crush some terrible food. Mm-hmm. It was actually a very late
those
recording, so our options were limited. We should have gone to what's never done us wrong, which is where we ended up. But I wanted to make
Waffle House?
Oh, McDonald's.
Well, we could have done that, but Whataburger.
Yeah, because it was close. It was right over here.
But
there was a Whataburger here.
Where'd you go first?
I really wanted McDonald's. I really wanted to
I said,
crush
I'll go
McDonald's.
I'll go with you, Mickey D's. I haven't
So
been there in a while.
I look it up. We look it up on Google. Stop.
Guys.
We like McDonald's, okay?
as a little guilty.
I like
thing,
this story. Like freaking Ray Kroc and the milkshake machine, and he turns the McDonald's Brothers thing into like an American franchise, and it becomes a real estate,
Empire.
typhoon.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I can get behind that. And so I get so patriotic about the McDonald's story. About once every 10 years I go, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But now, I do not discriminate against their breakfast, specifically the Egg McMuffins. That's a go-to road trip.
That's true.
But I don't even count that.
Hash browns.
I like some cheeseburgers and their fries.
But we were
and
just
their
feeling
noodles.
a
But
late night.
we were feeling a late night.
We were in our
just
late night Grimies, right?
Late night Grimies. My man, we were in the Grimies.
We were in the Grimies.
But I'm gonna tell you how much we were in the Grimies. So we take the time to look it up. They're open. It's 24 hours.
Oh, cool. Inside's 24 hours. Cool.
Inside, because I was like, man, I don't want to go through a drive-through. And we could go through the drive-through and sit on the tailgate, but we want to go inside.
Yeah.
So we pull up to McDonald's. Hey, sign on the door says 24 hours. Dine in. Come on in.
24 hours, come on.
So we go in, and the lady's pretty nice. She's talking. We're like, yeah, we're hungry. I'm glad y'all are open. Like, she's kind of shooting it back and forth. We're like, there's only 2 of us here, and we're like, don't worry about it. We're not in a huge hurry. And she's about to take her order, and then the manager comes over, the murderer of fun. You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Comes over and he's like, is this register open? Like, interrupts me. Is this register open? She's like, yeah.
Almost moves her hand off of the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, is this register open? And we're like, Josh and I are nodding over there.
Yeah, we're like,
it's open.
It's open, homeboy.
Yeah, it's open.
We're not small men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably don't want to come between us and our late night Grimies.
We're,
And so he proceeds to tell us that,
Anyone that's still listening,
I know.
thank you for the support.
respect.
but the dining room was closed. And I was like, well, it says online it's open. He's like, nope, we're closed. And I'm like, but the sign on the door says it's open. He's like, nah, we're closed. And I was like,
Freaking lazy.
And then she
Lazy.
said, can they order on the kiosk? And we're like, cool.
we'll just order the kiosk.
And he's like, no, that's closed too. It says 24 hours. And he's like, sorry, we're closed on the inside.
So it not being Waffle House, I knew they couldn't fight. So
Amen. Yeah.
we didn't do anything.
No.
But I got in my
wanted to.
flesh feels about that.
Yeah.
That's just like discrimination.
That's how weak you can feel. I actually feel bad about it telling the story the way I felt about it, because then we went to Whataburger and had a great
They're
time.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's the classy establishment.
It's typically where we
is.
go.
You should.
We should have
You know what?
defaulted there
You know what?
first,
We
right?
went to Whataburger and told the guy our sob story, and he was like, "Man, sorry, guys." Like he was
like, you guys should have come here first.
he was there to
You're
listen
right,
to
my
us.
man.
My
You
man.
should never. There's never.
man.
There's actually never an instance. I can't think of one instance that McDonald's should be the choice above Whataburger.
Sometimes.
Other than that, it was physically located
Nope.
closer to
Nope.
here.
Nope.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
I respect-
Orange is better than yellow. 10 out of 10 times.
Hey.
I'll walk 10 steps for orange instead of 5 steps for yellow.
Okay, I'm never sad about Whataburger. Okay, Whataburger is legit.
I like McDonald's.
I
don't
introduced
care.
Josh to the honey
Over
barbecue
Whataburger?
chicken sandwich, yeah.
If I have a craving for McDonald's,
I'm gonna
I
pull
want
my
one of
knife
those.
out.
So I'm gonna tell you. So this
Hold
is
on,
why.
Just so you guys know, this is exactly how we talk all the time.
Yeah.
we don't.
He
front
threatened to pull
anything.
his
This is how
knife
we-
out,
yeah.
and it's so normal. It doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the talk. Like, why you threaten a cop? Like, we always threaten to stab each other.
Lucas, don't make that a short.
Default. Yeah,
because we are big supporters of law
Yeah.
enforcement. Believe it or not.
absolutely.
What was it? Oh no, when I was a blue belt
And
competing a
Inside
lot,
Texas Border Patrol forced stops, apparently, too.
we still support that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Apparently we do.
Apparently we do.
I do, too.
Yeah, it was
Yay.
borderline. You get it, borderline. My man. But so when I
Josh's
was,
mom is never going to get her blessing.
So when I was a blue belt, I'm holding all the blessings. When I was a blue belt, competing, not a lot. I wasn't like a huge competitor, but I competed more. I was training a lot. We've told all those stories, but I was on a very strict eating plan. I did very well. I trained 6 days a week, but 1 day a week, I got my cheat meal, and my cheat meal every week was 3 McDonald's cheeseburgers,
My man.
a large fry,
Apple pie?
a large Coke,
Yeah, large
and a
shake.
large chocolate shake.
Yeah.
And that for 7 months straight, once a week, that was my thing. It was filthy, but after a whole week of eating wonderful,
It kind of needs those resets. Honestly,
It's ingrained.
It
in
helps
me.
me stay
So
strict
I
in the week.
get a McDonald's craving.
Y'all
legit.
ever watch the Daisy Fresh guys?
I've seen them. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Did
Yeah.
you ever see the little like documentary that Flow Grappling did and it was like out on YouTube?
Yeah.
Did you like watch all of them?
No, not all of them.
Bro, it's kind of worth watching just because they're so like
Interesting.
like they roll in a cesspool of like staff and
Staph
don't
and
get
bacteria.
sick. You know, it's kind of
Weird.
just
Defense.
it's
soap,
really
for sure.
unique to watch those guys. And I watched, I don't know, a year and a half ago or whatever, but I'm like, dude, so one of the guys, like the main black belt, I forget his name, I think he's Andrew something.
Yeah.
Because he fought Pedro a couple times.
We'll see.
Yeah, he fought Pedro. Hoja, our buddy. And he, but his thing was like orange chicken from Panda.
Oh, I do get
Oh yeah,
Panda.
he was trying to get
Bro,
sponsored by.
so
Panda.
yeah, he was trying to get sponsored by Panda. Like people would give him like send him Panda gift cards, but that was his thing. He's like trained so hard. He like I need Panda to, and then the Hillbilly Hammer guy, which I just love that name. Like bro, the fact that you're the Hillbilly Hammer, I like you. I don't know much
Yeah.
about you, but that is
The name rings true.
bro. That is so cool. Like, I'm never gonna have a nickname that cool.
No.
Than the Hillbilly Hammer. But that guy, he was like Code Red, Mountain Dew Code Red, which I didn't even know they still made that.
Yeah.
And
they
he's
do.
like, the reason y'all are dehydrated and the reason y'all like don't perform is because y'all don't drink Code Red in between rounds. And he would drink Code Red
Now that makes me want to puke.
like pre-training, in between rounds, post-training. And the dude's in awesome shape. But it's like,
and that's why.
yeah, Code Red.
You could just get those freaks, you know. Had a safety in high school that just like would smash a family-sized bag of Skittles during halftime and then perform like an absolute.
There's
champion.
actually a little science to that, right, Lucas? Like I'm not saying whatever, but the Skittles, that's just quick glycogen. It's a quick energy. I'm not saying it's the best fuel source, but there is actually a lot of that could be scientifically done.
You heard it here.
Argued.
So
Yeah.
eat Skittles.
I can tell you at 40, that's not the move.
Yeah, that's how I'm thinking.
Whew.
Yeah, dude, we had a guy when we played football. Now he was not a starter, so I just need to say that he wasn't like one of these freaks. But he had off period right before football practice every day, and he would go to Sonic and get like an ocean water and a double bacon cheeseburger and cheddar peppers, the fried cheddar peppers, and he would walk onto the practice field, finishing the burger and the cheddar peppers.
That sounds terrible.
Bro,
Sounds terrible.
what are you doing to yourself?
That sounds terrible. I ate too much breakfast one time and went to noon class and barely made it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like
yeah.
eggs and sourdough.
That's what your McDonald's reminded me of. Like,
Wow.
That's your orange chicken or your Code
That's my
Red.
orange chicken, yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It is. Like as you get older, you do get these like I slept wrong. Now I'm almost paralyzed. You know,
Oh.
it's ridiculous.
I don't subscribe to this, guys.
I'm saying like
You're
as you
not
get older,
there
you just
yet.
like get jacked up. You know,
I can
Like,
have the same age, homie.
It's so yeah, but I'm saying like it's.
I just don't subscribe to it. You know,
Cool.
listen.
Cool story.
Okay. Clint Eastwood
Okay. Clint Eastwood. I like
Where
what
you
you're
going
saying.
with this?
I like words. I
Okay,
like that
okay,
word.
okay.
I like Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank now. That's the actual actor's name.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood. They did an interview because he was on one of his most recent movies in his 80s, and he's outworking everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Every other actor, all the crew. And so they're finally like, what is going on with you? Like, you're older than everyone, and no one can keep up with you. And he's like, I wake up every single day, and I'd never let the old man in. He's like, it's a mindset, and I've never let him in.
I like that.
And so I'm just telling you guys, as we know, our words have power. We've talked about that recently.
Yeah.
So stop talking about being
Hold
old.
on. I will just say he got up every day and pretended to be someone. Okay, we're getting up every day and being someone. So you get a little jacked up.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Hey, but you know
But he's
what?
freaking
I
Clint
like
Eastwood.
that. I like that mindset though.
But you know what?
Yeah.
The Lord your God will hold your hand.
You're right.
Saying to thee, fear not, I will help thee.
I am the one who.
And I'm just trying to bring it back.
Hey,
so
I
we
love
can-
y'all, but I'm hungry.
I'm
and
trying to bring it back
I'm
to
also
close it.
I'm now tired.
I'm
I have
not.
to be
I had
up
2
in the
goes.
morning. I should have had another go. I'm
Should
trying.
have.
I'm sitting here wrestling. I've got a bunch of shredded brisket or chopped brisket in my fridge right now.
Oh, yeah, I saw those
I ate
taco
those
pictures.
tacos right before I came here. So here's my dilemma. If y'all want to know where I'm at the last 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, am I going to go home and whip up some quick brisket nachos, or am I going to have more brisket tacos, or brisket and eggs? That's probably what I'm going to do. It's like the healthier
Pretty
option.
quick and healthy.
Brisket and eggs, or am I just going to go brisket and homai? I don't really want to do. I don't think my wife is going to make, because it's 11:22 right now p.m. I don't think Amanda would be very willing to whip up some homai so it's like ready on the drive home. Yeah. So I'm just sitting here going like,
I'm thinking it's brisket, eggs, or it's more tacos.
I'm just going to
I
do the
think
broke
brisket and
thing.
eggs.
I'm going to do the broke thing that I used to do when I was in college when I was hungry. Just go home and go to sleep. So I feel like that would save me some calories for tonight.
Perfect.
my point is like, I'm hungry and I'm tired and I love you men and I love this podcast and I love looking at the Viking over there, Lucas, but I need some brisket and some sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring it in. So I know we digressed a lot after the
It
scripture.
was for your benefit. It was
but-
just.
I feel
Because
like
we love you guys.
I've been in rare form tonight, so I apologize.
No, we're good.
No, we're happy.
But
I'm all over the place.
You're a little sleepy from running a cattle company all
right,
week, huh?
launch.
Yeah, just launch week. It was good. It was good. I'm
But
tired.
remember the verse. Let's
Yes.
bring it back. Keep it serious.
Yeah.
He is there. He will help you. So why are you laughing?
Because you
Do you-
said keep it serious.
I know, and you're going to do the exact opposite. But he does believe what that says.
I absolutely do. Thank you for sharing that one. It was a good one and a good reminder. God is with you. And again, the point that stood out to me, just if it's encouraging to anyone else, that God, He's holding your hand. He's not far off watching you.
Yeah,
He
he's
loves you. He's
with
with you. He's near you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a scramble. It's gonna be brisket and eggs.
See, he's done.
with
He's
some
gone.
with some jalapenos.
He's gone. He
and
doesn't
then-
even know I
and
read the
then
verse
some-
again.
and then some cheese
All
in
right,
that.
let's pray.
Respect.
gentlemen.
I love that. Let's pray it out. On that note, let's bless his food for him.
Whoa! If you're on YouTube, you just saw. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you just saw. You just saw. If you're on YouTube,
Josh went full Ninja Turtle,
he
baby.
went full. I don't even know what to
Donatello.
call it. There you go.
Because he's wearing a purple shirt. And he's purple belt. Donatello, baby.
Yeah.
Got my Ninja Turtle
love
traps
it.
going. It's like a shell back there.
It is.
Is it?
It is.
It really
is.
Let's pray, gentlemen.
Hit both of y'all.
Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this time. Thank you for the opportunity we have to just come together and speak some truth, sometimes silly, but always try to bring it back to you, Lord. Thank you for the blessings you bestow upon us and for some of the life lessons we've learned, the fact that we can just talk with our friends and share some life lessons or some troubles or just keep it loose and laugh. And Lord, I pray that whatever words we've spoken tonight will go out and bless somebody in some way, help them to take something away, especially if it's just the scripture. Lord, help us to always remember that you're not far from us, you're with us, you're holding our hand,
Yes,
and you'll
Jesus.
always be there to help us. I never want us to take any of that for granted, the weight of what that means. I think so easily we can put that in a box and not really take that into consideration, Lord. So I thank you for that. I thank you for always being there and being able to pull us through. And I do want to speak a prayer blessing over all our listeners They are a blessing to us, and if they lasted through the length of this podcast, they deserve that even more, and especially my mom, Lord, for all jokes aside, for years of trouble. She's always prayed for me, and I believe on her account, that's what's honestly probably what's kept me here. So the fact that she would donate to something that she believes in, not just because it's me, but in my name, Lord, for your glory in our ministry, Lord. It's appreciated. So bless our listeners, bless my mom, Lord, and keep us safe in all we do. Help us to keep fighting the good fight and speaking the truth, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Love you guys.
Love you, dude. It's good.
This has been Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu Podcast, episode 028.
Go train.